All right, take that rope. Yeah, just tie it to the leg of the table right there. Yeah, just keep that. Oh, sorry. All right, we're back live here at ETV Live. Had a little bit of technical difficulties. I think Rick got up to go to the bathroom and tripped over the power cord, but I think we got it good to go. And we're back under caution here on lap 53 of 88 laps here at Talladega Superspeedway with the real sim racers. Monday night Cup Series here. R.J. Williams, your leader. Jay Horton running second. Chalmers Parker running third, and the running fourth. It's going to be Landon Huffman, Rick, and these guys getting ready to go back green here in the next couple of minutes. What's going to be the strategy here for the rest of the race?
Tell you what, strategy at the end of this race, we're at lap 53. We've got 88 laps we've got to do a total of today. So it breaks that down to what, my math is not the best, about 35 laps we've got left here today. I think the main thing is still patience. You're going to see a lot of guys that's going to keep trying to take a little bit more than what they would later in this race here, but trying to finish the race is going to be the best thing. But I do want to point something out. We need to make sure that JD gets these power bills paid around here, because if not, I tell you what, we're going to be in trouble. I'm over here talking to Steve and making sure he's got his power bill paid and our power goes out. Back to you, Ron.
All right, and like I said, these guys lined up and kind of ready to go. It's one of those things where we've had two cautions in a row right here, Rick, and these guys, first half of the race went so clean and so green, and you make those green flag pit stops and you're pumped up and you're ready to go back again for this second half of this race, and you just can't get it back going.
All right, I believe we got some guys down there on pit road. Got some good information there for us, Matt.
Actually, Dakota here, you guys actually seeing some guys riding on pit road, or riding on the apron here. They're saving that fuel, but drivers think they're really good to go now with that caution. You might see some save just in case, but right now everybody's looking good, and I believe Matt also has something.
Yeah, we got a little story on our Chalmers Parker riding in third. Earlier in the race, we saw him spin out down to the apron by the start-finish line and go a lap down. But now he's back up to third after catching his lap back, and maybe he can do something at the end of the race. His crew chief's very happy with the way they got their lap back, and he told them to go get him.
All right, guys, good job down there. Thanks a lot. And looking at the front of that number 41 machine, Rick, little bit of damage. That splitter bent up just a little bit. We've seen that a couple times tonight, maybe just from pushing too hard, but doesn't seem to affect them as much as we've seen here in the past, or as much as we expected to.
Absolutely not. Tell you what, one of the big disappointments here today is John Gregorio. He's had such a tough day today here at Talladega, especially in that turn 3. We seen him a little earlier spin her around down there in turn 3, and then we just saw just a few minutes ago, I believe they have actually put that car up on the hauler. And I tell you what, bad day for John Gregorio that's running 4th in the points. It's definitely going to be a game changer for him.
All right, and we'll get ready to go. Green racing back here again. We're going to take it down to the top 10 real quick. Like I said, R.J. Williams, Jay Horton going to be restarting on the front row, those two teammates, and Chalmers Parker running third, Rick.
Well, I tell you what, I'm with Dakota and Matt down there. I'd like to see Chalmers Parker come on back up here and maybe battle it out door to door coming out of turn 4 on that last lap as the checkered is flying. To me right now, Chalmers is the underdog. He had a little bit of tough luck here early in the race, got that car turned around sideways, going across the start and finish line. He has worked real hard, not give up, and push it to the limits, and look at where he's at now. In third place, looking at the back of Jay Horton's car. Tell you what, I believe the young man will put it up to the front before the end of the race. Now, it's just a fact, can he keep it there?
4th spot's going to be the 75 of Landon Huffman. The 5th spot's the 94 Jeff Addison. Now the 6th spot, the 18 of Chaz Schilling. Haven't talked a whole lot about him tonight, but he's getting that thing into position slowly but surely and getting ready to make a run for the front. 7th spot's going to be the 88 of Adam Roberts, another guy we haven't talked about a whole lot. The 8th car, the number 33 of David Lanza. Now, if you told me to pick one earlier, I think maybe if I had to pick one, I'd have to pick David. He's due one here in this series, and he's been having some good runs lately. Number 14 of Joey Gattina is going to restart 9th. And the outside pole sitter, number 5, Bill Schoonover, is going to round out your top 10 as the pace car is about ready to duck off. And we're going to go back racing here at Talladega Superspeedway. We're going to take the green flag on lap 56 here as these guys, like they said, they thought maybe we're going to be able to go from here on out without making another stop, and the green flag drops.
That's right, and I tell you what, it's like those three cars, I tell you, they lined up real quick there on the start, and as you can see, they all came down at the same time. That's teamwork right there, Ron. As you can see, that team is working together, bumper to bumper, as they go into turn 1, coming out of turn 2. They know Thomas Parker is on their back door. These guys are going to work together really hard, and you're going to see them try to make some moves to get their 4th teammate up there and try to put all 4 of these in a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish today.
All 4 of those Huffman racing cars were on the outside going into turn 1. That was a good photo op right there for that team. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say the 41 of Thomas Parker. If he had an orange roof, he'd be right there with them. But these guys, all like you said, top 3 Huffman Racing, and you know, I'm pretty sure the field's pretty tired of hearing us talk about them. But you know, they're one of the best teams here in this series, so they're going to keep getting talked about. These other guys are going to have to step it up.
That's right, and I tell you what, if you're up front, you know, we got to call the race the way it's going to be, and if your last name is Huffman, or if it's Williams, or if it's Horton, you're running up front, we're going to be talking about you. That's where the camera's at, and that's what Corn Dog is doing. But I tell you what, 94 of Jeff Addison getting a little help from it looks like, I believe that's going to be the 18 of Chad Schilling. And they're working that outside line pretty good. I tell you what, the 41 car, I'm sure he's looking in his rearview mirror right now, seeing that 33 of David Lanza coming up, and hopefully he can get a little hand with him, and those guys work together. So right now, but you know, Ron, R.J. Williams, Jay Horton, Landon Huffman, tell you what, they're checking out, man. They're checking out.
And that's sort of what I had meant earlier in the race, where, so you know, it's to the point now with this aero model to where, you know, these guys, you know, the 2 cars don't always just pull away. If the 3rd car can stay there, you can have a 3-car tango sort of going. And what's going to happen here, if these guys play it smart, which I think you're going to see them do going into 3, the 21's going to jump up, fall to the back of the line, or maybe not, but normally, like I said, the sort of they're playing a little different than mine. They may lose less momentum that way, but the 21, if you know the 2nd car gets hot, he'll jump up, get out of the way, and push the next car in line. Guys from pit road.
Yeah, Chad Cole and Guy Snyder, guys to watch out for tonight, just ran into a bunch of trouble. I believe Guy Snyder was up front, and there was a slow car on the inside, and they had nowhere to go. Guy Snyder going to the inside below the apron, he just about halfway turned the car around in front of the field, saved the car, they fell back, got hooked back up, and they're trying to get back up to the field, but that was a heck of a drive, and I don't know how he saved that, Ron.
Yeah, looking back at it here, actually, looks like those guys, they come up on the back end of the number 88, Adam Roberts, going into turn 2, and, you know, had nowhere to go. So, you know, it's either running in the back of him or kind of run down on the apron just to keep from running into everybody. But looks like they were able to get away from there unscathed without any damage, I believe. And they're going to get back going here. Lost a lot of time, but with fast as those guys are, they should be able to keep caught up, no problem.
Well, I'll tell you what, looky here. We got Jay Horton running up in the front there. R.J. Williams running 2nd. 3rd, Landon Huffman. And I tell you what, 4th place. It looks like Chad Schilling has put himself there. So right now we're looking at 1, 2, 3, and 4 teammates here that are running up front here at Talladega. And Thomas is trying to get a little help from David Lanza out there on the outside. And don't understand, Jeff Addison is just hanging on to the back door. I believe is going to be that. I believe it's going to be that number 18 car, trying to make some things work there, but it looks like the 33 and the 41 car are making that outside line work as they cross the start and finish line. They may take over that position.
That's right, and just cycling back through the field, checking out Keith Brooks Jr., working with Doug Roth, and making a little swap with Nathan Bowers right there. They're riding back in the pack, just trying to bring it home a solid position. And some more guys back here. They're checking up on the 91 of Jeff Eden running in 13th spot, giving the 88 a good push. Like you remember, Jeff lost his dancing partner a little earlier, John Gregorio, in that caution in the middle of 3 and 4. So he's looking for somebody else to push, somebody else to dance with, Rick. And as fast as he's been all race long, shouldn't be that hard for him.
tell you what, we got a lead. It looks like the 41 of Chalmers Parker has just took over the lead with the help of the 33 car of David Lanza. But I tell you, that 94 back there, Jeff Addison, still kind of stuck in behind those teammates there. Don't understand, or I didn't get a shown to the 33 car of David Lanza, but he's still trying to make it work on the back door of the 18 of Chad Schilling.
Number 41, Chalmers Parker led that last time by, and there you go. That completes the comeback of the race right there. Like we said, having his issues earlier, but being able to overcome them as R.J. Williams and Jay Horton are able to go back around him on the outside. So those Huffman racing cars flexing their muscle here at Talladega. And looks like one more guy we want to talk about real quick is the 94 of Jeff Addison and that NASCAR Hall of Fame car. He actually works for the NASCAR Dadgummit, tongue twister again. My daggum Alabama accent's got in the way. He works for the NASCAR Hall of Fame in downtown Charlotte, so I want to give a quick shout out for him. And if you got time this summer, you need to stop by and check that joint out. That's one of the coolest places I've ever been in my entire life. Man, they could not get me out of there for about the next 9 hours. They were closing the doors and trying to lock up, and I was still in there trying to sit inside of race cars, Rick.
I'm going to tell you what, I had a chance to get down there to check out that museum. You walk in the door and you see this big thing that's all laid out, looks just like a track laid out with some of the history of NASCAR and where this got started at. And I was in there for hours at a time myself, Ron, and I tell you, the history that they have in this museum at the NASCAR Hall of Fame is just extraordinary. And, we got an accident with the 21 and the 75 just spun across the start-finish line there.
Wow, those guys, those Huffman racing cars getting tangled up right there. And don't believe that there's a caution out, Rick. That's a tough break for those guys as the 21 of R.J. Williams trying to get back up on track. I don't believe R.J. hit anything, trying to go back and double check and see if Huffman got any damage off that, but Corn Dog's got it pulled up.
Man, I'm going to tell you what, I had pulled up there, and it looks like maybe the 41 just caught up with that 21, guys, and 21 really had nowhere to go. 41, I mean, nothing he could do. He just got into the back of him. He had the 33 pushing him behind. So, unfortunate break for the 21 there, and the 75. Both cars are going to get them turned back around, get going here. And they are now definitely begging for a caution, guys.
Yeah, the 83 and the 21 had just made their swap, so that's one of those things. We were talking about communication key here at Talladega. They had just, like I said, just made their swap and lost all their momentum. And then, those guys were not able to, keep it together right there. And that was your points leader, Landon Huffman, with trouble once again, Talladega.
I tell you what, that's definitely going to put those guys back there. But I tell you, that puts Jeff Addison in a real good position, and I know he wants to get right up there and try to be a contender for the win here today. So it's definitely going to come down, like I said earlier, definitely want to see how this is going to play out. You got two of those big teammates that's way back in the pack, and we hadn't had a lot of cautions here today, so if the green flies here to the rest of the race that we've got, those guys are probably not going to have a good chance to catch him back up here.
David Lanza going to the lead here on lap 65 as they work their way past the 83, that last Huffman team, that last Huffman Racing teammate right there. But now on the outside of the 18, pushing the 94 off of turn 2, and looks like he's going to put that Hall of Fame car in the lead.
That's right. He's going on outside on the backstretch here, folks. And I tell you what, as they're going down into turn 3, he's looking over to his left. He sees that 33 car of David Lanza. He is trying to get out there and take the lead. The 18 car of Chad Schilling, giving him a little bit of boost there. Tell you what, they're still side by side. Who is going to lead this lap? And I don't know if he's going to have enough to take it there, Ron. It looks like the 41 of is going to be helping the 33 car out just a little bit more than the 18 car. I tell you what, things are picking up now as we're bowling down 67 laps in the books.
That outside line looking pretty sporty at the moment. Dakota earlier saying that outside line not going to be the place you want to be to win the race. I don't think they heard him say that. They aren't paying attention at all what you can and can't do. They're just making it happen, and they're going to be a nose ahead going into 3 as a 41 and 33. Got to make a switch.
Oh, they got it 3 wide into turn 3. Oh, my goodness, like 3 wide. And you got the 94 of Jeff Addison on the high side. The 18 car comes right up. Chad Schilling. Looks like Chad Schilling is going to take over the lead here with the help of the 41 car on the bottom getting a little help from the 83 of Jay Horton there.
Man, all kinds of swap having to go on right there as these cars getting super hot as they're going into 3 there. Everybody, the 41 had to make a swap or he was going to blow, and then all of a sudden the 18 had to make a swap or he was going to blow, but now the 18's got the 33 in front of him. He didn't have that much air time out front at all, but he's going to take a look on the outside. They're going to put the 33 in the circle hole, but no, the 5's going to come up behind him, but Bill Schoonover with some help, and they're going to try to push that 33 back out to the front. 3 wide going into 3. Wow. I got to catch my breath here for a minute, Rick.
These cars are all over the place right now. They are trying to fight for position. And it looks like the 14 is on the bottom there. It's going to try to take the lead, but the 33 of David Lanza is still going to hold on to that lead, give them all a good run for their money there. But the 14 on the bottom apron is trying to make way, still getting some help from the 41 of Chalmers Parker.
14 made it up by himself. He would just follow the 5 up there, and then he kind of cut down without. He didn't have any pushing help at all, and he made it from 7th to 2nd in about a half a lap right there, Rick.
Tell you what, David ends up getting a good run coming off of turn 2 there, but the 14 is still up in there in the lead. 41 of Chalmers Parker giving him a hand there, but the 5 of Bill Schoonover is trying to help out the 33 of David Lanza as much as he can, but it looks like they may fall into a line here as they're going into turn 3 and 4. So, but the 83 car of Jay Horton still sitting on that bottom apron, no help from anywhere around, so he's going to lose some position there, but he's going to try to tuck the nose under the 5 car there to try to pick up some of the draft.
Checking back here way outside that lead pack as all the action's happening. The 75 of Landon Huffman and the 21 R.J. Williams are back together. They're teamed up. 200 miles an hour going into 3 right there, looking for a caution to be able to get caught up because they're about a half a lap back. But jumping back up front real quick here, just want to double check with the 17 of Chad Cole. Realizes what's happened and realizes this is an opportunity for him to capitalize and pounce on Landon Huffman and take that points lead away from him leaving Talladega.
That's right, and I tell you, we just got a radio check from Dakota Ehrman and it explained that Chad Cole has called the lead pack and he is on a mission. I told you earlier when he went around in that corner and he done that drifting right there in turn 3 and 4, he had his momentum built up and he knew that he had a good car today. So as you can see, he is trying to work that car, get it up toward the front as much as he can. Tell you what, laps are bowling down here at Talladega.
As exciting as it's getting, we got to take one more break and pay the bills, but watching ETV Live, 71 laps in the books of 88 at Talladega Superspeedway. As JD says, don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Hey dude, are you ready to rock and roll? If that's cool, then you need to do it over at HD Radio Network. HD Radio Network, 4 stations broadcasting 24/7 with everything from metal favorites to the 80s classic rock like legendary Leonard Skinner, Electric Light Orchestra, Foreigner, and bone-rattling, skull-crushing rock and roll on hard driving radio. And partnered with Nuff World Simulation Gaming, check out the HD Radio Network's Nuff Radio with Bear Factory, Stone Temple Pilots, Def Leppard, and a whole lot more. HDRadionetwork.com. Take your pick and rock your brains out, dude.
Back here at Talladega Superspeedway, 3 wide going into turn 3. That's your two guys sitting second and third coming into to the race here in points. Chad Cole and Guy Snyder, they're dropping back as they made a crazy move through the middle going into 3, and they were wiggling and wobbling all over the place and cutting through there like a hot knife through butter. But right now, the 41 of Chalmers Parker and the 91 of Jeff Eaton, hadn't talked about him since the first part of the race, but they were able to work their way back to the front, as that outside line, as Dakota said, when you're 3 wide, just not really working all that great. But after those guys, they're 2 by 2. We're pretty much back to about, I'd say, 18th or 19th spot. And as we got some of these guys, let's see, that's going to be the 78 of Keith Brooks Jr. getting a push from the 84. Jimmy North had a couple of issues earlier, but now he's making a great comeback. They're working their way to the high side, and the 33 of the David Lands are kind of stuck down there on the bottom without any help.
Tell you what, Chalmers Park, a little bit of early skirmish that he got into. 76 car on the outside, getting a little help from the 84 car. That 76, I believe, is going to be Keith Brooks Jr. with a little help from the 84 of, tell you what, I've lost my place here, Ron. I can't see who that 84 car is. If that's that the 84?
Yes, sir, that's the 84, Jimmy North. He's actually a lap down, just helping one of his good old racing buddies right there. There's some issues. 91, sideways on the backstretch. Big wreck, car scatter. White car, I'm going to have to double check and see who that is. I believe that's going to be the 94, Jeff Addison, spinning, going down the backstretch. These guys are tough break for some of these guys here, and I believe that's going to bring the caution out for the second time. Corn Dog's got it on the replay.
Yeah, let's yank this up. Take a look at this here. I'm on that 84, I believe, of Jeff Addison, guys. And actually, that took place a little bit in front of him. Not quite sure who that was. Yeah, and you are right. It looks like that 14 car of Joey Katina and that 91 got into each other. 14 came back across the track and run of traffic. A lot of tore up race cars here. Guys, we're getting close to the end of this race, so this last pit stop here I think is going to mean everything.
17 car Chad Cole involved in that little skirmish there, Rick. Caught a lot of good race cars. The outside pole sitter, number 5 of Bill Schoonover. Tons of fast race cars brought up in this caution. We also got one of the Huffman racing cars, 18 of Chaz Schilling. I believe the guy Snyder was able to work his way around unscathed, but lost his partner there, Rick.
Yeah, I tell you what, we're getting close. We got 76 laps down into the books here, and which is, as the old saying is, it's now history. So we've got roughly about 12 more laps here. You'll see a lot more people taking a lot more advantages than what they would in the earlier of the race. But I know that old David Lanza and Chalmers Parker love seeing that. Especially Keith Brooks sitting up there on the top of the leaderboard. I believe he should be good on gas as well.
Yeah, I think pretty much everybody should, maybe these guys coming down and take care of that damage, and like Dakota said, they're going to put some fuel in it just to keep that spoiler out of the air. But a lot of, like we were talking about, a lot of good race cars caught up in this here. 94 of Jeff Addison, like we were talking about, didn't hit anything. They're just going to bring him down, I believe, and just put some new stickers on that and get him ready to go back out on the track. Like you said, no damage, so shouldn't be there too long. Should be ready to go. There were a lot of these guys we were talking about, just tons of tore-up race cars. And I was about to say, Rick, of how the intensity was picking up. And
yeah, I was just taking a look there, Ron, at the 33 car. Got heavy damage right there on the passenger side of that car there. Now, I'm not sure how much that's going to interfere with the draft, especially if he stays right on the back door or someone or not. So I'm not quite sure, but it's definitely going to be interesting to watch and see how much that plays a part here. And, I tell you, we've seen a couple cars that's had some front-end damage, and, it didn't seem like it bothered them at all. So maybe David Lanza is going to be okay with that damage on that side of that car. We'll see here in just a few moments.
Mac was on pit road.
Hey, we saw the number 17 of Chad Cole also slam it on the passenger side, and some heavy damage when he collided with the 88 and spun harmlessly down into the apron. But he's second in points, and this could hurt him too, and put him back in the points with Landon Huffman after their earlier crash down to the apron.
Yeah, that's right. And there's going to be about 10 to go this time by as the pace car is working its way around here. And as Matt said a second ago, Rick, Chad Cole now back in 18th spot. He's back there with Landon Huffman. Huffman's running 15th. Could you expect to see those two work together and try to get to the cars to the front?
Yeah, I tell you what, we're definitely going to see some competition take place here in just a few moments as they're rounding out here slowly with just going to be, I believe it's going to be lap 78 when this pace car crosses the line here. So that's going to give us 10 hard laps. I'm afraid, Ron, this may not be the last caution we see before the end of the day. I'm just hoping we don't finish under caution.
Yeah, that's right. These guys all have been a fairly clean race compared to a lot of the races we've seen this week. We're going to take one more break real quick here at ETV Live. You're watching the Real Sim Racers Monday Night Cup Series here, ETV Live. We'll be right back. And we're back here at Talladega Superspeedway. Real Sim Racers Monday Night Cup Series here. A lot of events unfolding here in the last half of the race, Rick, and it's going to be interesting to see with about right under 10 to go as these guys get ready to take the green flag here in the next lap, how things are going to play out.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, you're going to probably see some cars try to block each other out here on the track. You're going to see Keith Brooks, David Lanza probably working really hard with each other. You're probably going to see Chalmers Parker probably start working with Jay Horton back there with him as well. They're probably going to try to get a run on the outside, try to take over that first and second spot. But tell you what, there's just so much that can happen. But with that in mind, Ron, just want to give another shout out over here at our chat room. Mech Arm is in the house. About time you showed up there, Danny. And Captain Fred, we appreciate you showing up here today and rooting for your favorite driver. Cassidy, appreciate you seeing you. And Kayla, of course, it's always good to see you. Just make sure you sit there in front of your computer so that way if you're quizzed on what will happen today, you will be able to keep up with everything that's going on. So, but of course, Mama D, I tell you what, you just keep JD there working and making some of that trout that we've had out here on this buffet table, because it's been awesome. And Steve Ritter, I appreciate you coming over here and joining in with us, but enjoyed watching a little bit of your laps there that you turned today. Tough luck for you there, but you go get them next week. But again, guys, we appreciate you guys showing up over here. Tell your friends, your family, and your mom and your daddy, come on in there and join in with ETV. We have a lot of fun over here.
All right, now Rick, we're getting ready to go back green here, but just a second. Who are you complaining about being late?
Oh, I tell you what, and I don't think you want to go there, do we?
Oh, buddy. We can go there if you want. All right, we'll talk about it after the race. Coming off of 4 of these guys getting ready to take it back green. And you better strap that monitor back down to your desk or put your seatbelt on and stay in that chair because you're about ready to go for a ride here on ETV Live. As, like you said, Keith Brooks Jr. going to pick up the green flag here. David Lanza in the 33 on the outside. Chalmers Parker, Jay Horton, and Guy Snyder round out your top 5. And Guy Snyder, like I said, snuck himself up there and snuck through that accident, and some of the other points contenders in the back. Going to see if they can make it to the front cleanly, of course, as Keith Brooks Jr. is going to take the green flag with 8 to go.
Tell you what, green flag is dropped, and Keith Brooks has got, we got a trouble on this front stretch already. We got the 10 car, it got turned around. We got a lot of cars that's got turned around there, Ron. I'll tell you, it is the caution flag out.
It is, and a lot of these guys, there's a big, I'm not really sure what to make of that, Rick, actually. I know that they had just gotten into third gear as they come out of the tri-oval there across the start-finish line, and they were able to, weren't able to quite make it through there, and it looks like a 70 was involved, Jerry.
Yeah, guys, I got this pulled up here. It looks like it was 70. Unfortunately, I'll tell you what it looks like happened. Can't really get back here to him, but it looks like maybe the 70 got a shove in the rear end from it. Looks like it's going to be the 65 behind him, guys. Yeah, 65 just got in the back of the 70, dumped him into the outside wall. Unfortunately, a lot of cars got tore up there. 18, 75, 17, 94. And there's so many of them to count. Hold on, let me get a piece of paper and pen here. 75. Yeah, I'll get back with you.
Oh, you know, now that I'm taking a second look at it, Jerry, I don't know if you can see something from your angle that I can't see from mine. I'm not so sure that the 65 got to the back of the 70 of Jason Elrod before he got sideways. It looks like the 70 was already sideways before Williams got to him.
Yeah, you know what? You rolled that back there again, took another look. You are absolutely correct. I'm wondering if maybe the 70 might have gotten into the gas a little too hard.
Interesting to see. They were already going about upwards of 100 miles an hour already. So maybe if something he missed a shift or something, we'll have to get a double check on that and see what happened there. That's a tough break for a lot of those guys running out there. And I'm trying to go back and double check and see if there were any more implications from our points leaders right there, and there definitely were. The 17 car involved, along with a couple of those Huffman racing cars we've been talking all night about. They've been so strong. I know Landon Huffman, I saw him sideways down there with tons of front end damage. Rick, big twist here towards the end of the race.
Yeah, sorry that I was just trying to pick something up back here on this buffet table before JD walked up here and started breaking things down and cleaning it. But yeah, I tell you what, Ron, we're going to start seeing some of those things possibly happen in all of the races that we broadcast, just simply for the fact that you know, everybody can taste that victory. It's just a few laps away. Right now we're at lap 82. Hopefully we'll get once they come around to lap 83, we'll get 2 to go. We possibly may get 1 lap of green flag here, or possibly, you know, 2 or 3 green flag laps, as long as they don't throw out another caution. So it's going to be real interesting, and I think it is going to come down to turn 3 and turn 4.
Dakota, what you got for us?
Actually, we got Guy Snyder on the red. What's going on, Guy?
Not much, just hanging out.
Yeah, I saw your teammate taken out back there the first caution, and in the second caution, he just got pounded. You've been running with your teammate all day. What's the strategy now that you're kind of stuck up there up front in the right place, but you don't have the right people?
Well, I can't say that I'm not mad or I'm not happy about this, because, you know, when I don't have any allegiance, it's a lot easier to make the moves that I want to make. Chad and I are kind of like, you know, in the same mind. Like, we have ESP, we can just kind of move throughout traffic together, but, you know, sometimes it's nice just to be able to look out for yourself and yourself alone.
Yeah, and you two working together all race, you had that really good strategy, you came out front, you pitted, or you get on fuel. I mean, we had a few cautions now.
Yeah, that yellow made us perfect. We were going to look pretty bad there I was afraid of, because we needed a full tank where everybody else probably could have got a splash there at the end. We were figuring on, we didn't really understand the pack the pack, you can gain like so much. You can gain like 10 laps of fuel run just by running the pack and not being hooked up. But when you're tandeming, it was like about a gallon every 2 laps. So we were kind of figuring it was going to burn that much, and we kind of missed the strategy, and these yellows made us look a lot better than what we were.
All right. Well, what's the plan here? You're sitting fourth. What are you gonna do here? You think you can put that car in victory lane tonight?
Oh, I definitely put in victory lane. Right now, I'm going to probably work with Dave Lanza. He's kind of the odd man out at Team Manchild Racing Motorsports Incorporated. He's one of our good buddies, but we only have 3 people, so he's kind of just been floating around, and he floated himself up to the top 5. So I'm going to see if I can work with him, maybe get one of us the victory.
All right, guy. Well, we look forward to hopefully seeing you in victory lane or in the top 3, hopefully. So good luck to you.
Thanks. Hope to talk to you soon.
Guys, some crew members, the track crew out on the track making final cleanups and just getting everything good and squared away. We don't want any issues here, Rick, with the last 5 laps of this race when they finally turn them loose. But just to break it down, the top 10 right here. 76 to Keith Brooks Jr. has pretty much kept the lead since he's gotten it, Rick, not letting go of it. 41 to Chalmers Parker, going to be running second. The 33 of David Lanza, like Dakota said, running third. Guy Snyder, you just heard from him in the 27 car, running fourth. Jay Horton from Huffman Racing in the 83. 85 of Nathan Bowers running sixth. The 43 of Doug Roth in seventh. 91 of Jeff Eden in eighth. The 10 of John Abbott in ninth. Haven't talked about him a whole lot tonight, Rick, but he's working his way slowly but surely up to that inside that top 10 towards the top 5. 21 of R.J. Williams been strong all night, running in 10th. The outside pole sitter Bill Schoonover caught up in that skirmish on the backstretch right there. Might have some damage, but he's running just outside the top 10 in 11th. So pretty much any of these guys, Rick, have just as much of a shot of making it to that lead and making it to victory lane. You just got to have the right person working with you, and you got to be able to put those cars in the right position.
That's right. Tell you what, Keith Brooks, I know he is just, I'm sure the knuckles on that steering wheel that he's got is just as white as they can be, gripping that steering wheel. I'm sure his breathing has just really picked up a whole lot, and he's trying what he can to bring a victory home here today. So it's going to be real interesting to see how he does. But, I wish him the very best of luck. Chalmers Parker right there, right behind him. I tell you, it's going to be a really good race here the last few laps that we get to see. But, Ron, I just want to point out, looks like the Magic Man, John Westland, just joined in over here at the chat room, so he must have woke up from his nap. So we always like to see him.
Magic Man? Is it now you? So is it because we're here at Talladega? Is that why you're calling him that?
Well, Mama D just called him Magic Man, so, he's Magic Fingers, Magic Man, all that good stuff. Him and J.D. Webb.
They both been working on their eHarmony profiles all night.
I was going to say, I'll let you guys work your magic a little later after this race. I don't need any part of that. Wow, ETV Live, guys, can't beat it. We always have a good time here and try to keep...
I tell you what, I know you're probably seeing the comments that he's putting in over there. I tell you, he is a, what do they call it? He is a legend in his own mind.
All right, as these guys are working their way down the back stretch for the final time, lights off on the pace car. So looks like they're going to get the green flag, Rick, with 85 to go. That's going to leave us 4 green flag laps. And, if the caution comes out again, that's probably going to be it. But these guys are very capable of going that long, especially towards the end of this race when the intensity's picking up. And here in the 76, we were talking to him, not sure if he had anybody to work with, but I think his maybe trying to look with the 33 right behind him, but the 27 was trying to work with the 33. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys sort themselves out here before, pretty soon, because there's not a lot of time left.
Yeah, dude, not a lot of time left, but I tell you what, Ron, who you pulling for?
Can't do it. Can't. I said it earlier, and I think I'm going to stick with him, but I'm just afraid that I'm going to jinx him. I got the 33 in my pocket, buddy.
That's right. Well, I tell you what, the pace car is off the track, and Keith Brooks is up front, looking to his right. Thomas Parker. The green flag is dropped, and I tell you what, Keith Brooks jumps out real quick out there in front of Thomas Parker. But look at here, the 33 and the 83 working the inside as they going into turn 1 here, Ron.
76 pulled up, looked like he was going to try to pick up the 41 of Thomas Parker. That's another guy you can't count out, as strong as he's been all night. He came from the back up to the front, but now the 33 is on the back of that 76, and they're going to be trying to make a run going down the back straightaway. Ooh, lifted up, thought they about to make contact right there. Sorry, Rick, but 41 going to the lead.
That's right, side-by-side act we've got as they go into turn 3 right here. Keith Brooks on that bottom apron, but Thomas Parker's got the edge with a little bit of help there by the 27 of Guy Snyder. 76 of Keith Brooks just pushed out the 33 car, David Lanza, but it looks like the 27 of Guy Snyder is going to lead this lap here, Ron.
27 to the lead for the first time tonight, and we're going to have to double check on that yellow line rule and see if that's going to be a factor right there. But the 76, oh, they're going to be 4 wide coming across the start-finish line, wiggling and wobbling all over the place. 76 in the middle, and that's going to send that outside line backwards, as we've seen all night. 33 sideways.
Oh, and an 85. We have got a major accident here in turn 1 and turn 2. Oh, my goodness. And I believe that's going to be the race right there with unofficial results there, Ron.
Oh, wow, that tough break for a lot of those guys. Lots of good runs going. I'm to wind back and see what happened there, but Jerry's got it on the E-line.
Yeah, guys, I got this pulled up here. Going to take a look at this, and I'm hearing in my ear that it might have been the 83. Might have got a little bit on the back of the 27. Oh, actually, guys, no. Looks like that 41 and 33 might have came down on the top of him, and that's what spun that. Is that 83 got him spun around? So, guys, a lot of tore up. I mean, do we have enough cars to finish this race with that? That was a bad wreck.
Yeah, they were working on going more wide into the corner. Just not enough room. I think a little bit of it started with the 43 way up high, had a run, nowhere to go. 85 slipped up in front of him, and then the 85, from my point of view, looks like went back to reconnect with the 33 in the middle of the corner, and there's a little bit of damage on the back of the 33. Might have upset that car and sent the 33 sideways into the 41, and then from there on it was just a chain reaction, Rick.
Yeah, I tell you what, tough break for those guys there is that when they entered a turn 1 there, they were 3 wide, 2 deep, going into that corner, and I tell you what, it just looks like you said earlier, that 85 got in there just a little too hot, hit the 33, caused a chain reaction, and I tell you what, Guy Snyder's probably going to end up being the winner of this race here today, and might see a few guys go to the hauler today, Ron. I'm not quite sure.
Not going to be a group of unhappy drivers out there once they finally come down a pit road. But you got to give Guy Snyder some credit. I think he played the strategy pretty much as best as you could. He and Chad Cole working together most of the race, laid back, stayed out of trouble for the first half, and then when the time was right, he came to the front.
Tell you what, Dog, can you get a shot of that 76 car? I tell you what, that's what you call a crab walk right there.
Just looking back through the man, that's what, I don't know how, man, that cannot be easy to be driving right there, but that's a shame to see. He restarted that last time in first spot, and now he's being scored as the last car on the lead lap, so he's just going to try to bring it home, just to get that thing to the finish line. Not going to be going much past the finish line.
146 miles an hour as he's going across the start and finish line there. I tell you what, that's what you call skills.
All right, guys, with the unofficial results here, and going to go ahead and take it to a commercial break real quick, and as we come back, we're going to talk to your unofficial winner at the moment, Guy Snyder. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back here live as Guy Snyder doing a little bit of celebrating out on the track. We're going to cut to him in just a minute as soon as he's able to get that thing parked, and we'll get him back up here in victory lane. But great race here tonight, Rick, and looking forward to being able to see these guys play out the rest of the season.
That's right. I tell you what, awesome finish we had here today. A little bit of excitement there, but unfortunately, still again finished this thing under caution. And I didn't want to see that, but we still had an exciting race.
Lots of good racing, and I'm down here talking to Guy Snyder right now. Guy, great race tonight. Congrats on the win, and just tell us about it.
Oh man, it was hard fought. I mean, at no point in that race was I sure I had it. I mean, I wasn't up front a whole lot actually. It kind of, I mean, if I'd have scripted it, certainly wouldn't have went that way. But I mean, I guess if you're leading at the end of the race, you can't complain with whatever happened the 87 other laps.
That's right. You and the 17 of Chad Cole worked pretty close together pretty much the whole race, and we talked to you right there towards the end there. Just tell us about how it was working with him, and if you know the plan, did it really pan out the way you planned for it to?
I'll tell you what, Chad Cole, man, he's a class act. We worked together at Daytona earlier this year, and he got the bad end of that one too. He blew up there coming to the line, and just tonight, man, it was just, you know, right away we knew we worked all practice together, and we just, I don't know, there's not many people you want to follow 3 wide into a group of 20 cars, but you know, Chad and I do it, and we usually come out successful, and except for when other people kind of get out of shape. And I mean, our strategy was pretty flawed, but you know, these races, it just comes down to a lot of luck and a little bit of talent, I guess.
All right, guys, a great turnaround from your 16th place finish last week, and with you know, the other guys, they finished, the Huffman and Cole, they still finished in the top 10. Those are the 2 guys in front of you. But anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I gotta thank Chad Cole, of course, because he worked with me, and I don't know if you guys saw me get out of shape, and we lost 8 seconds to the leaders, and you know, he didn't, you know, bat an eye. He's like, I'm checking up for you, I'm waiting for you, let's go. And you know, he was the reason I caught up and had a chance. And gotta thank Dave Lanza. I didn't get to work with him there. I gotta thank Chalmers Parker for not hanging me out, even though he kind of should have went with his partner, because it kind of ended up I cut low of him. But I appreciated, you know, giving me the opportunity there. And I guess Horton there pushed me until he got turned in the wall, so I got to thank him. And just got to thank RSR, you know, for putting this on. It's a lot of fun, and I've had a bad streak here, but this reminded me that I have fun doing it. And I got to thank you guys for putting on this broadcast and giving me somewhere to talk.
All right, that's your winner, Guy Snyder here at Talladega Superspeedway, and I'm going to throw it down to Rick Donathan. He's got your 2nd place finisher.
That's right. And I tell you what, folks, I am standing here with our 2nd place finisher, Chalmers Parker. Chalmers, you came in, you qualified 18th, and you finished 2nd. You got to be happy with the finish.
Yeah, very happy. I hadn't really finished many of these races so far. I think I finished last week for my first time, and got into a bit of trouble there early in the race. Spun out, didn't hit anything. Come back and just find my way back up in the top 10 and just fought it from there.
Well, Chalmers, that was my next question. In that earlier, and I didn't get a chance to go back to the replay, had a lot of things going on here. What exactly happened in the early skirmish that you got into?
I was pushing, I had my 2 teammates, John Gregorio and I think Jeff Eden was up front leading, and I was hooked up with Landon Huffman there, pushing him to the front. And we went through the tri-oval, and if you get in that bottom line and you're up against somebody, it kind of gets you a little loose, and it wiggled, and just my bumper caught his, and it turned me around.
Okay, all right. Well, I tell you what, anybody out there you want to thank?
I got to thank Wayne Lotley Race Cars out of Darwin, South Carolina. They build some great race cars around our local tracks. Kyle's Photos, he takes amazing photos of the local racing around the area here in South Carolina. Guy Snyder there, he pushed me to the front until he ducked down and passed me, but if it weren't for him, I probably would have been caught up in that wreck. Me and Keith Brooks was talking under the caution, going to hook up, but that kind of got messed up. But got to thank everybody at Parker Motorsports, John Gregorio, Jeff Eden, John Higman Jr., and I think all of them had some bad luck in the race, but got to thank you guys and Bob Earl Racing Chassis too.
Well, I'll tell you what, chumps. Now that you say that you finally finished the race, you got a taste of second place there. You're 19th in the points. Now we've still got quite a few races there. Can we start seeing you try to be a contender for the points lead?
I'm not sure about the points lead, but I'm trying to go for some wins. I think next week Darlington's my home track. I live about 15 minutes from the track, and we raced there last season, and I kind of messed up running second and killed the car, but I'm definitely going to try and redeem myself next weekend with this.
Fantastic. I'll tell you what, Thomas, you drove a heck of a race here today. You started 18th, brought it to second place today, and I actually said some good things out there. I was actually pulling for you as the underdog that had a little bit of early skirmish and had a little bit of bad luck there. Was kind of hoping to see you up there in that top 5, and you brought it into second. So good for you. But I tell you what, I'm going to take it to third place finisher that Dakota is with now.
Yeah, Nathan Bowers down here. He came into the points 22nd. He's going to bring it home third. Nathan, man, you were 6th on that restart. How did you get through there?
Well, looks like I kind of caused the accident by getting into 33 a little bit. He had a lot of damage, and I didn't realize that I couldn't push him in a corner like that. Feel bad for everyone who was involved in the accident. But finished third. I'm lucky to finish these races half the time, so I definitely like to thank RSR for putting on such a great show, and ETV for broadcasting it.
All right,
and especially Jeff Eden for all of his drafting help, and along with Keith Brooks and even Chris Beck. He helped me out a lot in the beginning.
Yeah, man. I mean, you look like you were partnerless going into some of that run, and yeah, you just came out third. Anybody else you got to thank? Nope. Well, we're going to throw it back up to Ron then.
All right, great job down there on pit road. These guys, the RSR Full Throttle Cup Series, these guys put on a great show, Law Dog, and been watching them all season. And as these points, they're starting to tighten up here, what do you think we're going to expect next week at Darlington?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not sure what we're going to see next week. We're definitely going to see some action-packed racing, but I tell you, tomorrow night, Nationwide Series, 9 o'clock. I think that's the note that I just got slid across here. Make sure to come in and join us there for that race. Going to bring some exciting race car drivers to you there, so don't miss out, Ron.
Yeah, that's right, the ETV Live ESR Nationwide Series tomorrow night at Darlington, 9 p.m. Be here at ETV Live, and we'll see you then. Thank you. Have a good night.